not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And the topic of today is black people versus the U.S. government. No matter what your stance is about the black community, whether you think it's doing good, whether you think it's doing bad, or what's wrong with it, or who's at fault, bear in mind the black community is still property of the U.S. government. And the U.S. government has been very intrusive in matters of the black community. It has done things to sabotage the black community and disrupt it. Stagnated the progress. So you have to understand, for black people, one of our greatest detractors is the people in charge. And that's not an enemy that you want to take lightly. Now you may be saying to yourself, okay, wait a minute. So therefore, if this is a big bad government, is this is not black people's friend, why do black people vote Democratic? Why do black people vote for a bigger government? And so forth. It's pretty much. I think it's sort of ignorance on black people's part. It's also due to the fact that since the Republicans have become such known for being such staunch racist, that we tend to, like we want to go to a boat or some sort of sanctuary that seems in our eyes better than the other guys and so forth. The Republicans and Democrats, it's just, two sides to a double-headed sword, and we've chosen one side, but we're still going to get cut. We're still going to take damage. That's the thing. And some people may say, well, why do black people cling on to government programs and state programs and things of that nature, as far as welfare and child support and housing? Now, first of all, let's go into this concept, of welfare, and how did it begin? It began with FDR, that he wanted to save America after the Great Depression. Black people didn't come from slavery, after he was freed or whatever, and then asked the government for help, and asked, hey, can you give us housing? Can you give us a check? Can you get us food stamps? We didn't ask for it. It's something Franklin Roosevelt did to help the country out, because people were starving. White people were starving, didn't have much except for the clothes on their backs. And some people consider FDR as one of the greatest presidents ever. Michael Moore speaks very highly of FDR, even in his documentary called Capitalism, A Love Story. But Roosevelt stated that he will not take a picture with a black person. He will not take a picture with sitting next to a black person or with a black person in shot. So that's the thing. You have to understand that America's iconic leaders was very, didn't think too highly among black people, thought we was less than human, and in no way thought that we were somewhat equal to them. This battle between the liberals and conservatives and Democrats and Republicans, that's really white people's battle. Because the Republicans, and and then when it comes to this whole thing about you know what I'm saying, we think that, okay, let's vote Republican, you know what I'm saying, that means a smaller government, and you know what I'm saying, we can get away with more and so forth, or we don't have to have the government breathing down our necks. No, this does not apply to you, Negro. It does not apply to you. And so forth. You know, the U.S. government or the state government is going to still keep its boot on your neck. This goes for, especially when that they don't want to pay that much taxes, or, you know what I'm saying, these big corporations want to get away with what they want to without, you know what I'm saying, government putting regulations on them. You know, think about the meat. You know what I'm saying? These meat packaging plant will have tainted meat on your table, but then there's people that have to come in and regulate them, and that's where like the Democrats come in, or to preserve, you know, national forest. You know what I'm saying? These big tycoons will just destroy everything and cut down the trees and eliminate all animal species just to build a factory for profit and profit. And you know what I'm saying, the Democrats, the liberals and so forth is trying to counter that. You know what I'm saying, the white Democrats ain't there to help black people and so forth. You know what I'm saying, these are just two forces, you know what I'm saying, of white people that are with different ideologies that are clashing against one another. You know, and so forth. But still, with black people, you know what I'm saying, and then when you're dealing with government subsidies and welfare, you know, white people receive the majority of it, you know, and so forth. And also, when it comes to our tax dollars, you know what I'm saying, majority of it goes into the military budget rather than it goes into social programs. You know, right now, I've literally seen that they're working on some sort of invisible camouflage, like the Predator. They're trying to figure out ways to make soldiers invisible. You know, and think about the Star Wars programs with Ronald Reagan and his Star Wars program. I guess he saw the movie Star Wars and wanted to build giant lasers or some shit like that. Cause that's the bulk. That's where the bulk of your tax money is going to. And thinking about taxes, we gotta pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? All American citizens. And think about from the stance of a black person. You know, I'm looking at it like this. You dragged my ancestors from Africa, you know, to build your country for free. Then we get liberation, and then you're telling me I gotta pay the white man, the government, for rent. You know what I'm saying? To stay on his land that he forced my ancestors to come to. When you really think about it, that is absolutely crazy. Bottom line, you know what I'm saying? And the killer part, that's the thing. So we're supposed to pull ourselves up, black people, supposed to pull ourselves up from the bootstraps, fix the black community on our own, with the government breathing down our neck, and then pay them, you know what I'm saying, these fat cats money to stay here. If you don't pay taxes, you're going to go to jail, or they're going to ruin your life. I can't tell government and say, hey man, I don't want to pay taxes this year. I'm going to take this extra money and I'm going to invest it back into the black community. He's going to say, no. Either you pay taxes, Negro, or you're going to go to jail, or we're going to garnish your wages. We're going to take some of your property. We're going to do something. We're going to do something to really fuck with you. If we got a black president, you know, so-called black president, you know, he can't, you know what I'm saying, change the minds of, you know what I'm saying, people of the dominant society or whatever. You know, he can't, it's hard for him to change people's perspective and perception about black people. You know, you see what I mean? And he doesn't have that much power, you know what I'm saying, due to, you know what I'm saying, the state. You know, state governments and so forth, and what they want to do. We've seen, you know, Eric Holder or whatever, he wanted to charge the police officers that killed Eric Garner and so forth. You know, that didn't happen. When Van Jones, my man Van Jones, when he spoke out and said that So white people are poisoning minority communities. This is what Van Jones said. It got such a backlash, Van Jones had to resign. Either he resigned or they was going to terminate him. You know, so that tells me that even, and Van Jones worked with the Obama administration. So that means even black people in high up still gotta tiptoe, you know, still walking on eggshells to still not make black people angry and so forth. Now, even the Republicans will tell you that it's the government's job to protect the people, but not meddle in their business. With us, black people, it's opposite. The government meddled in our business, and the government failed to protect them. You see what I'm saying? See, us black people, we're constantly told we gotta fix the black community or whatever, and so forth. And that when we vote for our officials, and our officials fail us, then it's our fault. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can't, you know, blame the government. We talk bad about the U.S. government. They'll tell us, oh, well, if you don't like it, go back to Africa. You know, and that's the thing. So, you know, when you look at Black Wall Street, you know, how the government failed to protect us, or even after everything went down, after they demolished it, the people wasn't compensated. You see what I mean? And the people who committed the damage, you know what I'm saying, who committed the, you know what I'm saying, this atrocity, the crime, these offenses, you know what I'm saying, was never brought to justice. So, as I said before, federal and state government pretty much failed us. But at the same time, wants to breathe down our necks. Make sure us black people, you know what I'm saying, we tie our shoelaces up. You know, we walk tight. We got our paperwork. Everything is official and so forth. You know what I'm saying? When driving down the street. You see what I mean? So, especially when it comes to the police. And that's why it's going to be harder than hell to indict a police officer when it comes to brutality against black people, unless you catch it on camera. And it's still very hard. I'm like the situation, with Walter Scott and what's that guy, Slager, the Terminator. Yeah, but you know, we got to see how that goes. But as far as, you know, Freddie Gray, Tamir Rice, you know, and so forth, yeah, don't expect any of them officers to receive jail time. What they're going to get is a glorified vacation. You know, and this is what we're talking about the government. These authoritarians, you know, in no way and shape our allies are going to help us. You know, you may say, well, what about black people, you know, being beneficiaries of so much government programs? Yeah, they're sticking one hand out to feed you, and then with the other hand, they're juicing you in the side. They're sabotaging you. They have done things to destroy the black family, to destroy the black commonwealth. They have failed to, as I said, I'm repeating myself, to protect us. That's why we had to form the Black Panthers. So therefore, with all the information available to me, and you know what I'm saying, me really thinking about it and processing this information, the decrepit situation of black community, a lot of it is the fault of the U.S. government, federal and state government, and I'm standing by that, and there's absolutely no way you're going to convince me or change my mind that it's solely black people's fault. That is completely preposterous. That's all I want.